This is Optimal Relationships Daily, episode 1853. How Should Parents Talk to Their Kids About Money? By Lisa Harrison of MadMoneyMonster.com. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another parenting edition of ORD. I'm your host and narrator, Greg Audino. Thanks a lot for joining me today, as I will be reading an article for the parents out there, which I do each Thursday and Friday for those who don't know. Today's focuses on how we can approach the subject of money with our children. So, without further ado, let's jump right into it and optimize your life. How Should Parents Talk to Their Kids About Money? By Lisa Harrison of MadMoneyMonster.com. In this day and age, do parents have an obligation to teach their kids about money? I obviously think the answer is yes. However, since I am a personal finance blogger, I'd say I'm a little biased. I understand that the topic of money has been, and still is in some circles, a taboo subject that should be avoided in conversation. My own family subscribed to this line of thinking when I was a child. Mr. MMM's family talked about money, but had a different style than my family. Unfortunately, the conversations they had with their kids about money created deep anxieties that persist until this day. Neither one of our families deserve any awards to financial literacy or education. So let's examine various strategies that can be implemented to talk to kids about money. Then let's take a look at the style in which our families talk to us about money and how that has served us throughout our lives. Strategies to talk to your kids about money. Obviously, talking to your kids about money is going to need to be adjusted based on the age of your kids. Smaller children are not going to understand compound interest or dollar cost averaging in the way older children will. Strategies for talking to your kids about money include making sure that you create a safe environment before discussing the topic. Explain the importance of earning, saving, and investing, and how it will relate to them throughout various stages of their lives. Allow them to see the family finances and monthly expenses. For younger children, teach them that turning on a light or heating the house actually costs mom and dad money every month. Use a game like Monopoly to teach them what it's like to have a monthly income and what it's like to use that money for necessities like rent, electricity, food, transportation, etc. When they see how little they have left over, they will start to understand just how much money it costs to run a household. Have your younger children engage in chores, over and above what's expected of them as being part of the household, and pay them for their work. Explain the difference between earned income and passive income. Explain what taxes are and how much is taken out of earned income versus passive income. Talk to them about their most valuable asset, time. Tell them that investing smaller amounts when they're younger will yield higher profits than investing larger amounts when they're older. Younger children can learn about investing by tweaking the explanation too. We explain investing to our 7-year-old by calling it buying companies. She gets that. The possibilities are endless. How my parents talked to me about money. Unfortunately, I didn't have the luxury of being taught about money or money management. Instead, I had parents that didn't understand much about money. They weren't able to differentiate between earned income and passive income, nor were they able to teach me anything about investing because they didn't know anything about it themselves. For all intents and purposes, my parents were old school. They always taught me that money was taboo and it shouldn't be discussed. I was told I should never talk to anyone about their finances because it's rude and it's private. Now, in some situations that is true. However, my mom and dad were making a huge blanket statement. As I got older, I remember my mom telling me things like, make sure you always have your own money, and never depend on anyone else to support you. Believe it or not, I took those throwaway statements and tucked them away in the back of my head. I actually incorporated them into who I intended to be when I grew up. It was probably the best financial advice I ever received from my parents. I can't remember exactly when I became enamored with personal finance and educating myself about earning and investing, but I do remember being quite young. It was probably one of those things that I felt was forbidden, so I went after it with fervor. How Mr. MMM's parents talked to him about money. Mr. MMM's parents were a different breed compared to mine. They were all about earning money, embarking on entrepreneurial endeavors, and living completely debt-free. Even with all of that under their financial belt, they still weren't savvy in the way of investing or building massive wealth. They lived an extremely frugal lifestyle and paid off all their debt, full stop. Although this awesome behavior was modeled for Mr. MMM, and it did wear off, by the way, he didn't get much more instruction than I did. His instruction came more in the form of dinner time talk that went something like, "What are you going to do about a job? You're going to be 16 soon, and if you think for 1 second we're going to be paying for car insurance, you have another thing coming." Oh, did I mention he was 14 years old when conversations like this started? Yeah. Because of this abrasive style, Mr. MMM developed a fear of money and an anxiety of never having enough. Even until this day, when we sit down to discuss finances, it's anxiety-producing for him. You'd never think that the other half of a personal finance blog would have money anxieties, but he does. Fortunately, we're killing it when it comes to our finances. But it wasn't always this way. Hopefully, his fears will subside as we get closer and closer to our financial independence goals. How we talked to our daughter about money. These days, we have a little girl of our own. We're doing our best to make sure she understands the importance of earning, saving, and investing money at a young age. Our commitment to her is that she will not feel anxiety when the topic of money comes up, and that she will know exactly how to handle her finances for routine expenses, long-term investing, and a little fun here and there. We talk to her so often about money that it's become commonplace conversation. She's even started to freely give her opinion when we're embarking on a household financial decision. The best was when we were debating whether or not to buy a new area carpet for under our dining table. Her 2 cents went something like this: "Why don't you just clean the one we have and save the money?" Wow, we were schooled. And that's exactly what we did. It lasted another year before we had to replace it. But the fact that we took her seriously and she saw us enact it and save the money, hopefully, made a big impact on her. You just listened to the post titled, "How Should Parents Talk to Their Kids About Money?" by Lisa Harrison of madmoneymonster.com. Keeping your body in shape is important, but it's also important to keep your mind in shape. I've been leveling up my focus with Word Collect, which is a free word puzzle app with over 2,000 levels. Word Collect gets harder as you get better, so it's a fun and challenging way to keep your brain sharp and grow your vocabulary. I highly recommend you give this fun and addicting brain game a try. And right now, Word Collect is offering you 2,500 coins and 500 gems when you download and play. And those coins help. You'll need them when you're having a hard time reaching the next level. I've been there a few times myself, and I am very thankful they made it easier for me to keep going, because it really is a fun and educational game. So, stop mindlessly scrolling through social media. Keep your mind sharp. Just go to the Apple or Google store and search for Word Collect. So if you're like me and want to get fit with your mind and body, download Word Collect for free today. I highly recommend you give this fun and addicting brain game a try. Download Word Collect for free today. If I were to ask you to name a song by Dolly Parton or Queen, could you answer in under 15 seconds? If so, then you need to play Trivia Star. Trivia Star is a free mobile trivia game with over 60 different categories. If you choose the correct answer from multiple choices and beat the clock, you move on to the next level. The questions get harder over time, but if you get stuck, you can use coins and gems to get hints. And right now, Trivia Star is offering you 2,500 coins and 500 gems when you download and play. And above all, I personally love Trivia Star because it's just a really great way of testing yourself and keeping your brain sharp, which of course is what we're all about here in the OLD Network. Download Trivia Star for free today and get ready to flex your brain muscles. Trivia Star has thousands of 5-star reviews in the Apple Store and is the #1 trivia game on the App Store. Download it today to challenge yourself. Just go to the Apple or Google Store and search for Trivia Star. Download Trivia Star for free today and get ready to flex your brain muscles. Okay, and thank you so much to Lisa for this one. A good post that speaks to the way we might teach our kids about anything really, not just money. And that's what I hope that you're able to focus on after hearing this article. We heard a lot about biases in this article, right? Lisa's biases as a finance blogger, her husband's parents' biases, and how they indirectly affected how he still approaches money as an adult. It's important to remember that we all carry biases with us, and they absolutely influence how we teach our kids about the world. So, today I encourage you to question your own biases. What parts of life are you strongly opinionated on, for better or worse? Maybe others comment on how steadfast you are in your ideas. Or maybe you find that you don't associate with anyone who thinks differently than you do about one topic or another. take these into consideration and how they might come through in your parenting. Is it great to share our values with our children? Most certainly it is. I'm not saying to stop doing that. But we do want to investigate how we present our ideas and make sure that we are always positioning our kids to make choices for themselves. So, think on that today, my friends. It's time to wrap things up for now, but I thank you so much for being here and spending some time with us. Do share this episode with any other parents or financial enthusiasts or whomever you think might enjoy it. And other than that, have a great rest of your day, and I'll talk to you again tomorrow, where your optimal life awaits.